This is your daily horoscope and energy reading for June 27th. And today is unique. Today is a day where, for one, we have the moon in Scorpio. So, moons in Scorpio, the energy for me is always felt on an intense level. Maybe not for all of you, but for me, being so in tune with dark and light energy, when I get a heavy Scorpio moon, it can be very overbearing and very intense for me. It's even more intense because this moon is going to be sextiling Pluto and Capricorn. Now, this is about personal power, this moon. This day is about maintaining your personal power. In fact, I think the majority of the week has been about testing your boundaries and tweaking you in how you maintain personal power in the state of a highly emotional sun, in your core, your identity. When you're at this state, usually we've tried to find some sort of vice or some coping method to get us through. And it's usually some sort of short-term satisfaction. It's not something that long-term that we develop a coping skill that just pays off time and time again every time we hone into it. So I want to talk to you about today because this sextile is glorious. So for the majority of the day, from about 10 to 7, we are going to be asked a question. Now, we've been going through intense energy. We've been stretched. We've been pushed. We've been pulled. We've went on an emotional ride, and we've just went through these turbulent waters, and we're dilapidated, and we're just stressed out, and we're so overwrought with just energy that has really awakened some of us to the weaknesses that we still have, even though we have substantially overcame most of our weaknesses. There are still some areas where we are weak, and we realize now that those are areas that need to be strengthened. This is when I think this moon and sextile energy goes in and dives in there and starts sweeping up all the debris. It starts pushing it into a pile. You start to slowly take your dustpan and get rid of it. Yes, it was a hardcore storm. There's lots of cleaning up to do. There's lots of work. There's lots of renovating to do in this area of your life that you are now aware of. But now the question is, from 10 to 7, this deep question is, what now? Where do I go from here? How do I develop better coping methods? How do I maintain my personal power when I have no power? I am weak and vulnerable, and I am this person when I am in that state. How do I find a way to stay strong at all times? How do I manipulate energy and stay in its highest vibration, or at least understand why this stuff happens so that I don't fall in my personal power? The Pluto-Uranus squares, guys, were all about breaking us down and then building us up, and then breaking us down and then building us up. And then we had terrible eclipses that were afflicted. And so it was all about removing ego. Now we've had some ego rebuilt. We're now identifying ourselves, yes, in a whole new light. But now we still have some work to do on maintaining personal power and not having a jolt reaction to negative energy. I think for some of us, PTSD is still part of our response mechanism. It's still part of what we struggle with. Does it mean we need to fight or flight with every little emotional escapade or turbulent couple days? No, but we need to know that we still have that vulnerability, that we still have that weakness within inside of us to want to bolt, to want to revolt, to want to drink, to want to, have casual sex with somebody, to do whatever it is that you do to escape from your reality. You know, whether it's to slip off into fantasy and not come back until your world feels better, it's still there. Although it's improving, it's still there, and you needed to be aware of that. You needed to be shown that you're still vulnerable in that area. This sextile is going to help you if you tap into the moon in Scorpio and dive deep. Dig why you've got this glorious moon here, and dig why you've got Pluto in here being a benefic source. Usually Pluto is very malefic, and it's very dark, and it's hard energy, and good God, if it was combined with Scorpio, it could be crazy tragic energy. It could bring a death in your life. It could bring a depth to your life that you're not ready to face. But when it's sextiling, it is truly a beautiful energy. It's all about tweaking how you respond, how you maintain personal power. It's about working through the kinks. It's about communication. It's about communicating effectively with others about your weaknesses and letting them know about your vulnerabilities and letting them know who you really truly are in the deepest parts of you. You know, what you hide from others. It's about opening up. So you're going to have this question that goes on for the most of the day. The key energies to really tap into, I said, was Pluto and the moon in Scorpio's energy, wanting to give you a solid foundation. Look, no matter how much you build your house on the strongest foundation that you can, if the supplies that you use, if the house that you build is built with cheap, synthetic, affordable materials that you get on sale, then it doesn't matter how strong that foundation is, at some point it's going to crumble again. It's going to succumb. It's still going to be a weak place to really invest your time and energy into. Really want you to know that you've shown your weaknesses for a reason, because you need to tune into the Scorpio and Pluto energy to go in there and fine tune, to tweak that area. Pluto and Capricorn is in here for a reason, fine tuning that area and tweaking that area. Have a wonderful day. I know you guys have been doing some deep work this week. I know it's been very intense. Anytime that you got to understand, Saturn just went into this energy. So it's really bringing up some old wounds, and you're really dealing with those old wounds. And it's really about emerging after all that you've been through and getting back out into the world and finding your personal power and re-identifying yourself in the things that you want and truly feel like you deeply deserve. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow.